What is going on, guys? I can't believe it's almost the end of the year. 2025 has been such a great year for both my channel and my comic collecting. And as we move into the new year, I just wanted to take some time to reflect on some of my favorite purchases of the year. So this list was actually really hard to put together. If you followed my channel, you'll know that I have been getting some really good scores recently for some really good prices. So I wanted to make this a top 10 list, but I kind of added a couple honorable mentions. So really it's more like a top 12 list. But anyways, let's get into it, and we're going to throw it back to the start of the year, one of my first pickups, and it is Detective Comics 276. This, I believe, is my second earliest issue of Detective Comics, and what's so cool about this one is it's the second appearance of Batmite, and it also just has a really cool Batwoman cover. This is a really popular one, and I really like a purple cover. Even with some of the flaws, like there's a little bit of coloring there, it still does not bother me. This is a very, very beautiful copy of the book. And not everything I got this year I actually purchased myself. Some things were generously gifted to me. It wasn't for any reason. It was just completely out of the blue. Just saw it and thought of me. And it is Vengeance of Bane, the first appearance of Bane. And like I said, this was just completely out of the blue. The person who bought me this book years earlier had actually given me a copy of Batman 497, which is the issue of Nightfall where Bane breaks Batman's back. I have a lot of Batman books, but I really don't have a lot of the more important keys. So to me, this is probably one of the better Batman keys that I have in my collection. So very, very good book to get this year. I heard that they're making a Nightfall animated movie, and like if they announced that a decade ago, I would have been super excited, but now I definitely have to be a little hesitant. The animated movies just aren't what they used to be. Moving on. So something that's been really popular this year that I have been really enjoying is the Absolute Universe from DC Comics. Right now, everyone is going crazy over Absolute Batman #1. That book is on fire right now, but that was from last year. Of course, I have a copy of that book, but something cool that I did pick up this year, this 1 in 50 variant of Absolute Batman #5. And this book I actually got for cover price at one of my local comic shops, and I looked it up. This is selling for like at least $50. It was ranging from like $50 to $80. I was just going to pick this up because I really like the cover. I didn't even know it was a ratio variant until I got it up to the counter, so it's really nice to have some comic shops that don't gouge the prices on these things. 1 in 50 of an Absolute Batman book for cover price. And this is not the only ratio variant that I've gotten for cover price, but this one is definitely my favorite. So there you go, Absolute Batman #5. So if you've watched this channel, you know that I do a lot of dollar bin diving, and this year I had a lot of luck with my dollar bin dives, and one of my videos I did earlier this year called like my best dollar bin finds yet or something like that, and one of the books that I found in that video was this copy of DC Comics Presents #47, and this is the first appearance of He-Man. It is definitely a low-grade copy. Doesn't look that bad from the front other than that, but if you look at the back, when you take it out of the bag, there is a big chunk missing, so definitely not a perfect copy. For me, this is perfect, and to get it for $1, I mean, that's still a steal, even for the grade that it's in. I felt like I was stealing the book. Like, I actually felt bad, and I asked the guy, like, are you sure? Like, some of these are pretty good, but Wanted to give them up for $1. I really appreciate the local comic shops in my area. This one actually, and this one. I actually got these two at the same shop. These were both from Gutter Pop Comics. Next, I wanted to talk about a book that I actually upgraded this year. So this right here is my old copy of Superman 261. And as you can see right there, there's one of those big creases in the middle, and there's like some raising on it. Like, I thought maybe that was just stuff that could be washed off, but it looks like the cover is kind of raised in some spots. Like, there's just some defects to it, and I just really like this book so much, especially with that white cover that kind of shows everything. This is a cool book. As you can see, great cover. And this is something I just really, really wanted to upgrade. You know, this copy doesn't look too bad, like, from further away. You know, it really doesn't look too bad, but then, you know, the closer you get, the more you can see the flaws in it. So, here I'll show you the upgraded copy. And as you can see, this one is just a lot cleaner looking, no creases, still a little bit of yellowing, but that is normal. It's to be expected. I got really lucky in getting this book, actually. So one of my local comic shops hosts these conventions every few months, and over the summer, they got this massive, like, 50 long box collection in. And he actually gave me the opportunity to go through those boxes before anyone else and film some videos. So as a thank you for doing those videos and promoting his business, he let me take some stuff for free, and this was one of the books. There were quite a few, and I feel like every time I go in there, he's giving me stuff for free, but this was from Queen City Bookstore. They host the Buffalo Comic Con. Really great people, and they have been really, really supportive of this channel. So I just wanted to show that off and just give them a little bit of love. Now we're going to take it in a bit of a different direction. So something that makes me really happy is when I can combine my love of comics with some of my other interests, one of them being my love of music. So the next book I'm going to show was a gift from my husband, actually, something he went out of his way to order me. It's something I almost bought for myself. So this is a comic book that was not released in the United States. It's kind of hard to find, and I was in touch with an eBay seller. We were working out a deal, and then at the last second, he pulled out of the deal. It seemed kind of fishy. I think he said, like, his dog ate the book or something. Like, he really gave that. And I was just, like, thinking, okay. I just thought maybe he wanted to sell the book for more or something like that. But little did I know, my husband went behind my back and actually purchased this book for me and gave it to me for our anniversary. This is the Dark Knight's Death Metal issue number 2, Mexican foil variant, featuring the band Ghost. So right there you have Papa Emeritus 4 with the Batman Who Laughs, and what makes this especially cool is that it's signed by Papa 4, and not many of these books exist. I imagine not many of them exist signed, so as soon as I saw this, I just knew that I had to get it in my collection, and my husband Luke, he agreed this was something so unique and cool that I absolutely had to get it. I was definitely bummed out when I thought I had missed out on it. And yeah, this is just so cool. Like, I am just stunned. I'm blown away that I'm able to have something like this in my collection, especially since Papa 4, the character, is retired, so I doubt he'll be doing any more signings. So yeah, these are really rare. Like, I don't think anyone actually knows how many copies exist. There are different versions. Like, I've seen some Italian versions that look a little different, but I really liked the foil variants that you got with the Mexican release, and especially with that signature. This is just such a beautiful book. So, there you go. I just love looking at this thing. So, there you go. Yeah, that I think might be my favorite of the year. These aren't in any particular order, but I think that might be my favorite of the year. And speaking of Ghost, we actually went to see Ghost in New York City at Madison Square Garden earlier this year. That's a big deal to us. We've seen Ghost so many times. To go from them playing a small venue in our little town that they didn't even sell out to now playing massive stadiums like Madison Square Garden. And while we were there in New York City, I made a stop at Midtown Comics, and there's a video on my channel. I'm sure most of you guys have seen that one. And while I was there, I picked up a comic book for my Detective Comics collection, and this is one that I was really excited to find. It is issue number 370, and what makes this really cool, you can see right there, it is the first published Batman work by Neil Adams. So he did this and that Brave and the Bold Spectre cover around the same time, and this one I think was just published first. But yep, got it at Midtown Comics. It was $30. That's about what the book is worth, and really, really awesome. And I was just really, really happy to get this. I was glad to have something cool to come back with from my trip. Midtown Comics is much more a new release type of shop, but I was really happy to be able to get a cool back issue like that. Okay, and then this one was another book that was actually gifted to me by my local comic shop, Queen City Bookstore, at the same time as that other one. And this is Batman 361. And the reason I really wanted this book is because this was the first cover appearance of Jason Todd. That's him right there. And it's just a really cool book. Really cool cover. He had it for $15, but I did not pay anything for it. Either way, I think that would have been a good price. So if you followed this channel, you might know that I'm a big fan of Red Hood, and I like to collect Jason Todd's key appearances. So far I have this, I have his first appearance as Robin, and I have his death. I don't have his actual first appearance. Oh, and I have his reintroduction where he's stealing the wheels off the Batmobile, I guess if you count that as a key. So I have those books. I do not have his first appearance, and I don't have his first appearance as Red Hood. Those are books that I'm still hoping to get maybe next year, fingers crossed. I'm more than happy to add this to my collection of Jason Todd keys for now. So there you go. And thank you again to Queen City Bookstore. I cannot say it enough. And the next book I'm going to show was actually from Queen City Bookstore as well. This is Batman 612, the second print, with a really cool black and white sketch cover, of course done by the legendary Jim Lee. And this is just such an iconic cover with Batman and Superman. I do not have an original printing of it. I was really happy to find this. This is just so cool. I've never seen it before, and when I was looking it up, I found that this one actually has quite a bit of value compared to the first printing. That's something that's kind of cool about DC books, especially from like the 90s and the 2000s. A lot of the times the second printings actually have a little bit more value than the first. Depends on the book, of course. It's not like a crazy valuable book, but it was going for significantly more than I saw the original printing was. So just really cool. I mean, I would have bought it anyways, regardless of the value of it. I mean, I was still buying it anyways before I knew that, but that's just an extra little cool factor to it, and it's just something that you don't see every day, so I wanted to show it off right now. Something else that you don't see every day, but you might start to soon, because this character just had a movie announced. we're looking at Geiger, 80-page giant, #1. And of course, this is the first appearance of Redcoat. And he's right there on the cover. So if you're not familiar with Geiger and Redcoat, they are characters from Ghost Machine, which is a line at Image Comics started by Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok, Ivan Reis, Brad Anderson. A bunch of these great guys have come together and created this insanely awesome universe. And honestly, all of the Ghost Machine books that I've read have been amazing, but Redcoat has been a fan favorite. He's a lot of fun. Just think like historical fiction with a bit of satire. A very fun comic book series, and I'm really excited to have his first appearance, particularly the one where he's on the cover. I believe this is cover B. So, yeah, this is awesome. And I got this for a great price. This book definitely has spiked a little bit in value since that movie was announced. I got this, I think, back in like April, something like that. So definitely before the news. And I don't know exactly how much I paid for it because the guy gave me a deal. I got a bunch of stuff, but I think it would have been less than $10. I think it was about $8 for this book. At that time, it was going for like $30 to $50, depending on the condition. So I have no idea what it would go for right now. This is a pretty clean looking copy, though. I don't see anything wrong with it. And this one I picked up at another local comic shop called Comic Sense, and they actually do like a whatnot thing too. They're kind of like a hybrid shop where they have a storefront and they run a whatnot. I've only been to that shop a couple times. I definitely want to go back again in 2026, so there you go. First appearance of Redcoat in Geiger 80-page special. And we're getting down there. I only have a couple more things I want to talk about. And it's so hard. There's so many things that I'm thinking of now that I could just add to the list. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick to what I pulled out for now. But next book I wanted to talk about was Joker #1. So this book used to be a really hot book, and I think that the Joker movie that came out last year kind of killed the momentum of this one, because I would see this was always like $100 book. And this one that I have right here, the condition is kind of low on it. I got it for $15, which I think is still a fantastic deal. It might be lower than that now, even in like the 30s and 40s, but for a while, this was like a $50 to $100 book, depending on what the condition was. Because normally when I see this book, it's a wall book, and it's like $100, and I just don't even think about it, because that's just too much for me for a book like this, you know? It's not really a key, it's just the first Joker book. But it is really cool. They were kind of going against the comics code a little bit by doing this. I don't think the comics code really liked it too much. So I got this earlier in the year at one of the Buffalo Comic Con, and I saw it just sticking out of one of the boxes. I just asked the guy how much, and he looked at it. He's like, it's kind of low grade, so $15. And I'm like, cool. I got some other books from that guy, and he was flipping through an old price guide, and dude, that's always the best, when you find a guy that still has the old price guides. Like, that's how it should be. Like, that's probably the value that these books still should be. So, there you go. $15, Joker #1. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was another one that kind of combines my love of music with my love of comics, and that was this 3-parter right here, Slayer's Repentless. So I actually have a hardcover copy of this. I don't have it out right now, it's with my music stuff, but I did not have the single issues. I picked these up very recently at Queen City Bookstore, so whenever I go in there and they've gotten something new, they normally let me look through it first and kind of pick out what I want. And one of those times they had this set, and I was so happy because this is just something I never see. Like I said, I had the hardcover, but still just really cool to get the singles. And this issue number 1 is actually a variant cover, which is really, really cool. I actually really like that one a lot. I just really like that red. Really pops, really striking. And then you got the guys in the band. So that's all I'm showing for today, but honestly, I love all the books I picked up this year. I think that this year was fantastic. I think I'm really starting to kind of hone in on my collecting a little bit. I think a lot of people go through this when they start collecting where their collecting is kind of scattered a little bit and then they kind of focus in. And I feel like this year I picked up a lot of stuff, but it was all very focused, and I like that a lot, and I want to continue that. And I would love to hear from you. So let me know in the comments, what was your favorite pickup of this year? And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.